I've lived by one motto since I started my YouTube channel. Be so good that you don't have to think about the algorithm. It's easier said than done, but the best content creators in the world spend very little time worrying about the algorithm. They spend a majority of their time with their heads down, working on making the best videos they can.
Because the truth is that in order to stand out on YouTube, you have to be great. And to be great, you have to dedicate thousands of hours into the practice of making videos. There's really no way around that. No one pays to see an amateur comedian get on stage for the first time, and no athlete has gone pro without spending a significant majority of their life on the field. A lot of people try to skip the hard work. Their egos trick themselves into believing that they somehow deserve an audience because they were born with a chiseled jawline. But it doesn't work like that. Very few people get by on looks alone. After all, there's no shortage of pretty people in the world, but there is a shortage of talent. And that's the one thing that you can control. And thankfully, it's also what the audience wants.
I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't focus any time and energy into figuring out ways to get your videos seen. I just think that it pales in comparison to the amount of effort that you need to spend making the best damn content you can. Introducing the 80-20 principle for content creators. You should be dedicating roughly 20% of your time, or a cumulative of 1 day a week, working on marketing. This is time actively trying to build your audience and getting your videos seen. This could mean time brainstorming, capturing and editing your thumbnails. It's going to mean workshopping titles and coming up with alternative options if your video tanks in the first few hours. This might be writing a newsletter or Instagram caption to let your audience know that you've uploaded a new video. And this will also include research. Reading books on business or marketing, or taking a course like this on building a YouTube channel all fall within that 20% category. The other 80% of your time, it should be spent on making content, putting in the reps, and getting better at your craft. That's going to be time spent brainstorming ideas, and then writing, filming, and editing your videos over and over and over again until you go from good to great. That's the only way.
If you ignore the 20% of time dedicated to pushing out your content, you'll be leaving so much on the table. But making your videos is where you'll find your audience. This is where you need to be dedicating a majority of your time. This is really a roundabout estimate though, and it should be guided by feel. Only you can determine how much time you need to be spending between these two areas. But I can guarantee that if you've got these two flipped and say you're spending 20% of your time on content and 80% on marketing, then you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. So let's talk about the algorithm for a minute, because when you understand exactly how it works, you'll realize why you don't need to waste all of your time worrying about it. There's a reason that these algorithms exist, and it's actually pretty straightforward. YouTube, Netflix, and other social media sites have massive audiences with millions of pieces of content. YouTube alone gets more than 500 hours of video uploaded to their platform every single minute. In order to make sense of all this content, these platforms need to pay attention to the things that you click on, what you engage with, and what you ignore. As your interests change over time, as your behavior changes, the algorithm pays attention and it adapts. Say if you followed 500 people on Instagram and there was no algorithm to sort through the content, your feed would become way too cluttered to enjoy it.
YouTube isn't manipulating you as much as they're just showing you the things that you've clicked on and watched in the past. If you spend even 15 minutes watching skydiving videos on YouTube, guess what? You're gonna start seeing skydiving videos pop up in your recommended sidebar and on your homepage. In order to understand the algorithm, you need to understand YouTube's intentions. They want viewers to stay on the platform as long as possible. Their business model depends on your attention. If they serve the right videos and get somebody to stick around for 30 or 60 minutes watching videos, they're going to be able to show them more advertisements, thus increasing their revenue. If YouTube served nothing but shitty videos that nobody wanted to watch, then viewers would likely lose interest altogether. They might realize that they should actually get back to work, instead of aimlessly watching videos of people jumping out of airplanes.
When it comes to YouTube, there are just two factors that you can control that determine if your video catches a wave in the algorithm and starts getting recommended to viewers.
Are people clicking on your video? And are people watching your video? It's really that simple. So let's break it down a little bit further. Are people clicking on your video? That's going to be dependent upon three factors: your title, your thumbnail, and the trust that you've built with an established audience. There needs to be harmony between your thumbnail and title. They need to both tell a story that catches someone's eye, sets the stakes, and gets them motivated to click on it. As you grow your audience from 0 to a few hundred subscribers and eventually a few thousand, people will identify your profile photo and name in their feed. And they'll likely remember the positive experience that they've had watching your videos in the past, and will click play. If you follow through on the promise of your title and thumbnail, you will develop a stronger relationship with your audience. And are people watching your video? Do people stick around for longer than the first minute? Or do they immediately stop watching within the first few seconds? Depending upon how well you're doing at holding their attention, your audience retention, that's the amount of people that stick around, will fall either drastically or slowly over the course of the video. By the way, I'll give you some specific storytelling principles later in the course that will help you to hold their attention for even longer.
And so that means that all the hours of creators yelling to smash that like button or to add a comment likely didn't make a difference. It's one of the reasons that I rarely ask people to do these things unless, of course, I genuinely want to hear their thoughts on a particular topic. Sometimes at the end of my videos, you'll notice that I ask my subscribers to leave a comment. And I don't do this because I think it's going to improve my video's performance. I do it because I genuinely want to hear from them, or I'm looking for ideas for future videos. If you've got any experiments you want me to try next year, I'm probably going to be doing a couple more. Let me know in the comments any ideas you have. Do not say try meth for 30 days. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care how much you guys bully me. When you understand this truth, then you understand why it's so important to create great content consistently. Anyone can create a sensational title and thumbnail that will get people to click on it. But can you make content that's good enough, that someone will not only click on it, but watch your video all the way through and then subscribe because they liked it so much? Will your audience be happy that they clicked on your video because you truly added value to their day? Or will they be annoyed that you misled them with a dishonest title and thumbnail that tricked them into clicking play?
At the beginning of this lesson, I said that if you're good enough, you don't have to think about the algorithm. But what exactly does it mean to be good enough? Well, when it comes to YouTube, there are 3 key ingredients that will help you break through the noise and create content unique enough to stand out from the crowd. You need to be extraordinary in at least 2 of the following: personality, content value, or filmmaking chops. Hat tip to a fellow YouTuber, Katie Yu, who originally came up with this concept. It's one that I've tweaked just slightly. Now, you absolutely need to provide some content value. Whether it's educational or entertaining, your video needs to offer your audience some real substance. They can leave your video laughing or more informed about a particular topic, but apart from a few unicorns, value is a key component. But with that said, you need to pick your 2 core strengths. What are you going to be the best in the world at? Is it your personality, your content value, or your filmmaking chops? When you think about some of your favorite YouTubers, they most likely have core strengths in at least 2 of the 3. Gary Vee. Content value and personality. Gary Vee isn't a filmmaker. While he does hire some talented camera people, his videos stand out because they focus largely on content value and Gary's big personality. Other examples of these types of channels would be most political pundits on YouTube. They rarely focus on high production value and quality filmmaking abilities. Instead, they focus on delivering valuable content delivered with a strong personality. Marques Brownlee. If you watch tech videos by Marques Brownlee, you know he has an insane ability to create beautiful videos, and he focuses on delivering valuable content with each upload. He doesn't lean on his personality to set his channel apart from others. Another example might be a media company like Vox. They simply can't rely on personality, and so they stand out by hiring amazing animators, journalists, and storytellers to make their videos truly remarkable. WheezyWaiter. Craig Benzine's YouTube channel, WheezyWaiter, definitely leads with personality and filmmaking chops. His quick editing style and quick-witted jokes make his videos stand out from the rest. Of course, he provides value. As I said, you have to provide value, but those are definitely his 2 core strengths. Matt D'Avella, the trifecta. No, but really, I'd say my core strengths are content value and filmmaking chops. That's what helps me stand out on YouTube, not my charming personality. And it is charming. The good news is that you can work on all 3 of these. You don't need to be over the top to have a captivating personality. By scripting out your videos in advance, you can infuse each upload with humor and wit that keeps people coming back. And you can improve your content value by brainstorming great video ideas and putting more effort into your research process. And you can fine-tune your filmmaking chops by investing more time into the craft itself.
If you haven't invested over 1,000 hours into making videos and you're complaining that you haven't built an audience yet, I don't have any sympathy for you. This is why, if you really want to make it on YouTube, you have to genuinely enjoy the process of making videos. Sure, there are always going to be people that get lucky or become early adopters to social platforms, but that's a really small minority. If you want to have a long and fulfilling career as a content creator, what I see consistently from successful YouTubers is that they've put in the time required to get really freaking good at what they do. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to make great videos in this course. But it's up to you to show up every day to put in the work.
I want you to take 15 minutes and think about the 3 traits of successful YouTubers: personality, content value, and filmmaking chops. Where do your strengths and weaknesses currently stand? Which do you think will help you stand out? Keep these in mind as we continue to move through the course.